Hello, everyone. My name is Justin. I'm joined here tonight by my best friend, and welcome back to another episode here tonight on Is It Scary, Wisconsin. We're going to jump right into things tonight, but I want to remind all of you merch links are in the description. Make sure you're following us on Facebook and Instagram, Is It Scary, Wisconsin. All of that aside, we are joined by a very special guest.
Hello, I'm Macy Reince. I am the performance coordinator over at the Realm of Darkness.
Macy, it's awesome to have you here tonight. Thank you so much for agreeing to join us on this little fun interview segment that we do here on Is It Scary, Wisconsin. Gage, why don't you take it away? You said you had one you wanted to start with to kind of break the ice, so go ahead.
Macy, so we have this ongoing thing with our channel. I want to know, and I want your point of view on this. Is it interreactive or interactive?
What?
Interactive.
That's right. That's right. I knew it.
Every time I watch the videos, I'm like, he's got it wrong. It's interactive. Gage is right. Okay.
That's right. That's right, Justin. W. Gage.
I said there would be no ambush questions in this interview, and I didn't think I was going to be the target.
You're ambushed this time, buddy. You got ambushed.
Yeah. So that wasn't even. Yeah. Yep. 100% interactive.
Okay, I had to steal the thunder, Justin.
You just know Timu Isn't Scary is losing it right now.
Oh no, already said it. We just started, dude.
Macy, how did you first get involved with haunted houses?
Okay, well, do you guys want the long story or the short story?
Yeah, we want.
Floor's yours.
Yeah, floor's yours. Go ahead.
Okay, so it really started when I was really young. Growing up, me and my dad always watched super scary movies. I think one of the first ones I watched was Sleepy Hollow, and then Blade. So vampires were always kind of like an obsession to me, which is weird. But as a child, when I would go trick-or-treating, I always had to dress up as something scary. It was never a princess or anything like that, which most girls I feel like at that age would definitely be going into like the beauty standard, where I was like, I want the blood capsules, I want it all. The older I got, I wanted to go to my first haunted house, and me and one of my friends, we went to Terror on the Fox, and I was terrified. The train ride got me. I was pushing my friend's face into the window because I was so terrified. I had no idea what to expect. It's my first haunted house.
Yeah.
It was a major adrenaline rush. So the older I got, I kept wanting to go back because I all of a sudden got addicted to that adrenaline rush, where I was like, okay, sweet. Like, I'm going to totally go ahead and do this. And one night I was on the train, because the train was the scariest thing to me. So this actor came upstairs, and I was sitting by myself, and I was, again, terrified. He sits down, and the first thing that came out of my mouth before he could interact or like be interactive with me was, I want to work here. And he's like, in character, this is what you got to do. And the next day I was wearing all black, and my mom's like, where are you going? And I'm like, I'm going to work at a haunted house. And she goes, no way. And I was like, yep, I'm going. So, and that's literally how it all started. So I showed up at Terror on the Fox in all black, like I was told. And I didn't know if I was going to be good at it. I didn't know really anything or what to expect. And it was probably one of the best nights ever. It was so much fun. And now I'm still doing it. So and I've been doing it for 14 years. So I think that says like a lot in itself. So
it's such a cool story, and it's so awesome because we've had a chance to kind of sit down with a couple haunt owners now, right? And it's so cool to be able to sit down with an actor, an actress, and really get like into the guts of it. And that is such a cool story. And I feel like a lot of the viewers are going to be able to relate to that story. They might even have a very similar story, Macy. I really like that. I think that's so cool. So awesome.
Yeah, it was so fun. I even remember I'd go to like New Zoo Boo with my dad as a child. And my dad is like kind of a goofball in general. So he would always be like, yeah, you can take me. It was like this guy, I remember it like it was yesterday, and I had been like maybe 8 years old. And it was like this chainsaw table, And my dad's like, you can take me. And I'm like crying because I'm like, I don't want to see my dad die. Like, no way.
Yeah.
So I was like terrified. So it's just like crazy to me knowing that like my whole history of like loving anything scary and then spooky just landed me into loving haunted houses and understanding behind the scenes and how they really operate. It's way different versus like, you know, someone like a customer through a show. Today we actually just gave my husband's aunt and uncle like a backstage tour. And they're like, wow, we didn't realize how much really goes on truly in a haunted house. And it's always really cool to share that side too. So yeah, I love it. It's fun.
Yeah, that was something, just to piggyback off of your comment there, that was something that Gage and I really found fascinating, right? Like, okay, so on the surface level, right, we do the haunt reviews, we go to the haunts, we have fun, it's always a good time.
Right.
But once we finally got to actually get backstage, meet some of the owners, really see what goes into some of these haunt projects, we were like blown away by, I mean, you go to the realm of darkness and it's like motherboards and
Yes.
I mean, it's amazing. And
Yes.
if I hadn't seen that stuff, you know, to me, it would just be boo boxes and fake blood. But the fact that I have seen
Right.
that stuff now, I'm like, there's a completely different world out there that most people never see.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's really
Absolutely.
cool.
Yeah.
And now the boards too, they've changed so much probably since you guys saw backstage. I don't know when you guys went backstage last, but Ben definitely did a lot of updates and they're really beautiful boards. And now it's just like, wow, these boards versus old boards look so much better. But it's just really cool watching them work. When I'm like there at the haunt working on other things, I'll see them just doing their thing and they're just having a blast doing it, besides like maybe stressing out right before a season. But I think that's just how it is in the industry, no matter what or where you work. So
Well, I definitely think it's a sign of haunt owners and managers that care. If you're not stressing
Right.
out and if you're not thinking about it and working on it constantly and trying to better yourself constantly, I personally think there's a problem. You know, so
I would agree.
that's my thoughts on it.
I mean, I was having even before season, I think like the week of or the week prior, we had like our dry run, which we didn't do last year, but we did it this year. I was like dreaming about like all the changes from the performance aspect that I could change. How can I make all these actors just like move up like 3 notches, because we have a lot of new people this year. So, and none of them really have acting experience. So it was really hard and challenging this year versus other people coming from other haunts. But it was a good challenge for me. And obviously me leaving Terror and then going to Realm, completely 2 different types of shows. So it was a lot of trying new things because like obviously Terror is very traditional with the pop-out type scare, where this is very dialogue based. So that was different for me, and that was something that I definitely had to like overcome as an actor and manage, and to figure out ways that I could be able to teach those things at this point. So yeah, it's a good challenge though.
So, Gage, at the top of our list of questions, you'll see I asked when she first got involved with haunted houses. The second question I think you should take.
Sure. So, Macy, what is your favorite aspect of haunts and why?
My favorite aspects of the haunt industry in general is just the creativity that really goes into it and the passion, because I know personally on our end on how much goes into it. And when I go to a show, it's truly down to like the respect of the build, it's respect and the creativity that goes into costume and makeup, and creating the actual characters. And for myself, that's something that I really take pride in, is creating really cool characters and building a costume to match that type of character that I'm trying to portray.
Yeah.
It's different every single night. So it's really cool in that aspect. And that's probably what I find the best in the creativity aspect. So
Yeah, I think I can definitely, again, I think I'm on the same wavelength as you on that. Just when Gage and I were even working on the costumes that we're producing and creating right now,
Right.
there was like there's a really cute moment in the video. If you ever have a chance to see it, I really recommend it. Where I look at Gage and I'm just like, I see why people get into this stuff. Like creating this is so much fun. And like I'm
Mm-hmm.
literally out there with my best friend having the time of my life, grabbing handfuls of fake blood and throwing it at
Well,
That
even
was, ooh.
ooh, ooh,
when I
ooh.
was younger, when I was younger and I first started in the industry, I was in high school. I was a junior in high school because at that point, that's when you could work in a haunted house. Now, most of
Mhm,
the time, it is like 18 and older for most. But when I was able to join, I actually was struggling a lot with like anxiety, and that was
mhm.
haunting was actually a really good outlet for me, and it still is to this day. Like I tend to take a lot of my frustrations, put it in a bottle, set it aside, and I use it during my acting so it can just portray like a little bit more anger and frustration. But like the people in the line don't know that, so they don't see that side. And I know a lot of other people in the industry that also kind of do the same thing.
Oh yeah,
It's
I'm
really good
actually
free therapy.
right.
It is
I'm actually
free therapy.
I'm actually glad you brought that up because we've talked to some actors recently, and like when people who do kind of suffer from kind of the social anxiety aspect of part of life, when they go into
Mhm.
haunt acting, it's like they're a whole different person because I
Yep.
I don't know how to explain it. I'm gonna find out soon, honestly, so I can't
Yep.
really, but um it's just you take on this whole different persona, so you may feel like
100%.
you're not, on 100% confident in yourself at that point, but when you put on that makeup or that mask, it's go time, baby.
Yep. Yep. There's no falling out of it.
Hmm.
It was really cool. I was actually chatting with an actor from one of the larger haunts south of Green Bay tonight, and they actually told me when you have that mask on, nobody's gonna know it's Justin. They're all they see
Yeah.
is a
Right.
monster. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, and that kind of messed with my head a little bit. I'm like, but I know it's me, and they're just like,
Right.
but they don't. They have no idea who you are unless they're your
Like
friend or
last year,
yeah.
it was really funny because last year, so I never really got to go out on Halloween as an adult, right? So like last year, I was
Mhm.
able to actually experience going out as an adult and partaking in like the fun activities of everyone dressing up. And of course, I was like, I want to be scary. My husband's like, no, we're not gonna go something scary because we do that literally every single other day. Like it's fine. And so every time I go out or I see other people doing Halloween festivities, I'm like, only if you knew that I scare people and I might have scared you at one point. Who knows? But like it's so weird thinking about that from like this standpoint. So
Mhm.
it's really cool.
Okay, I'll take the next question then. So, Macy, if you're comfortable talking about this, what is your current character that you're portraying? Where did you get the inspiration for it? And then, if you wouldn't mind, approximately how long would you say went into the design, concept, and makeup behind this character?
So actually, because I know when you guys came through the first night, I was playing a different character than what I played the other time that you guys came through. I actually have like a lineup of characters because I try to create a new one almost every year. I try, doesn't always meet the deadline, but at least I have characters that I can like be like, okay, I'm feeling this one today.
Mhm.
So when I'm picking a character for that night, it really kind of comes down to my mood. Like, am I wanting to be more personable with people? Am I wanting to interact, or do I really want to just like scare people today? Like, what am I feeling? So the first night I actually had one of my characters named Derpy because she is literally a derp. She's just silly,
That's cute.
goofy, gross, disgusting.
Love it.
I've had that character actually for a long time when I worked even over at Terror, but this year she kind of got a major upgrade to her costume. So the costume portion did change versus when I did play her over at Terror, so it doesn't necessarily match anything. And then when I think of my characters that I'm wanting to do, I kind of get ideas sometimes from movies, or like I'll see something, or even can be like color scheme. And that's something that I learned from another haunt actor that actually used to work at 13th Floor. She doesn't anymore. She's actually in like movie and show production, and she creates costume that way. And when I was looking at their costumes, I was so amazed by like the detail and everything. And this was probably like 8, 9 years ago now. And I was like, how do you guys create your costumes? And she's like, you take one thing and you focus it around that one thing. So I was like, okay, cool. And then you create the rest of the color scheme of that costume or the set that you're going to be wearing, and what do you want all on it. I tend to go with colors that are more of those fall colors, like the olive greens, the burnt oranges, sometimes black, but I don't really like distressing black clothing personally. That's more just bleaching and stuff, and I feel like that's kind of basic. That's just my own personal preference though. um so each character, and then I have Amaris, who's like a character that I used to play over at Terra when we did Possession one year. That was back in, I think, 2018. She was probably one of my favorites to play. I tend to study a lot, and that year I studied so much in Possession that I scared my husband at 3 a.m. in the morning. So free for another time though. And he does not scare easily, obviously, because he also works in the industry. But when I create costumes and I create a character, I think of the costume really first, or sometimes I'll do backstory. I used to do a lot more backstory back in the day when I was more in a room or a base set that I was going to be playing. Now it's just like the detailing of the costume, because obviously I've gone to really big show productions in Chicago, and I've guest acted at those places too. So seeing those types of costumes, and then like ones that we have around, you know, our area, it's just like, okay, how can I bring these characters to like the next level? um so a lot of it does come from just my costume and the character, and then the rest of like the vocals or how I portray that character kind of falls after that.
Mhm.
Makeup wise, it really again kind of falls into my costume. What does my costume look like? Most of the time, if I'm using those green colors, my makeup is also going to portray some green and like grossness. I tend to drool a lot. So the character that you saw the last night that I saw you
Yeah.
guys, I kind of like randomly, I was like, you know what? This character never had a name, but she's getting the name Bubbles, which I know is so lame and stupid, but I blow bubbles with my spit all the time. So I was like, it's only fitting. So I normally don't really create a lot of names for my characters anymore. I think that is something that I don't really like about the haunt industry too, is when people are like literally putting their name across their costume. It's just like,
Yeah.
we don't need to have, it's also kind of comes down to like an ego thing, and I just don't think that's necessary order to portray a really good character. So at the end of the day, your name could be on it, but you might not have like the background to really, you know, hold up that name. So again, my personal preference, but that's what happens when I'm creating a costume and a character.
Yeah, I remember having a bubble blow off with you there, trying when we're waiting a line. I had gum. I came to this live thing, but I was trying to blow a bubble. I was trying to compete with you. I still think you won though.
Yeah, I actually, I don't know if you guys know who Juju is over at Fear.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
think
so
so. Yeah. No.
yeah, last year he came through, and I was of course blowing bubbles as one would. Um and she's like, "Oh, but I want some." So I literally took it out of my hand, went like that, and I slapped it across his face because I obviously knew him. So, and he was just like, "I love that so much." And he was like, and still to this day, we still talk about it. Anytime I'm out there, he's like, "Do you remember that time?" He's like, "You made me get that stuff because I love that so much." And I was like, "I'm happy I was able to make an impression on someone with that." So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's good.
Well,
It's fun. And it
especially
actually tastes good too. So,
yeah, especially like another high level actor and manager in the industry too. So that's really cool. That's a really awesome experience.
mm-hmm,
I think so
mm-hmm.
for sure.
You want me to take this away, Justin?
Yeah, I was well. The problem is it's kind of written from my perspective. So why don't you?
I can go for it. Shoot it. I'll take the one after.
No, why don't you take? Why don't you take the 1 second from the bottom? The one thing that she thinks needs to change. Why don't you take that one?
Sure. Sure. So, what is the one thing right now in the haunt industry do you think needs a change?
Oh, I've honestly been thinking about this one for a while, and there's few things. To be completely honest, I feel as if the one that I'm most focused on has been changing over the years, which is a great thing. But I think it's like talking badly about other haunts when you go to another haunt, especially in our shoes. There should be no disrespect to another haunt, because at the end of the day, we all do the same thing. If I
Hmm.
personally hear any of my actors saying anything badly or poorly about another haunt, I'm going to confront them about that, just because I don't think that's okay. I think there's healthy competition, but there shouldn't be any
Hmm.
negative competition. I've seen people, and I'm friends with a lot of haunt actors in Chicago, and they're like a one big knitted group, but they all work at different haunts. And I know Kyle from Green Bay Fear is really trying to like enforce that, and I'm completely on board with it.
Yep.
Especially when he did Chaos Night, he invited a whole bunch of people from the haunt industry to see that show,
That's
which
awesome.
I think was amazing. But it's nice to know other people, and it shouldn't be a competition at the end of the day. I think it should be a positive thing. And then I think even people within a haunt having any negative energy really shouldn't maybe be in the haunt industry, because it can definitely, foreshadow or bring in that negative energy to another actor. And that's just something that I don't want to see. I want my actors to be happy, and I want them to enjoy and have a good haunt experience, especially if it is their first year. Because I mean, if they have a really good time the first year, the most of the time they're going to come back because they enjoyed their first season. So but I definitely think the haunt industry getting together and being one is super important, and I know it's going in the right direction. I know when I first started, that was a big issue. A lot of competition and a lot of negative competition. So I'm happy that it's moving in the right direction. I just want to keep that same. But I think that would be the one thing that I've noticed.
Yeah, I definitely am in favor of positive, healthy competition. I agree with you. I think that is really good. Yeah, just from talking, obviously to you, of course, but just from talking to even like with Kyle, like he brings like such a positive energy, and he wants the show to be good. He also wants everyone to have that positive experience. And I think that is
100%.
such a healthy vibe to put out there. And the thing is, right, even if maybe haunted houses aren't necessarily your thing, when you talk to people like Kyle, people like yourself, you pick up on that energy. It's almost an infectious energy. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a very good thing.
Right. Yeah, I just remember like when I first started, there was always like other haunts going through another haunt, and there'd just always be negative talk. And it's just like the older I got, the more I'm like, why are we being negative towards one another when we all at the end of the day do the same exact thing? So why can't we just respect one another and go through each other's haunts and be proud of the work that you guys are doing, because we all do the same thing at the end of the day. So it's not a competition in that sort. So to me, that's, I think, the number one thing that I'm wanting to move forward with.
It's the damn reviewers' fault. We got to get rid of those guys. No more haunt reviews. Everybody's a 10 out of 10.
Everyone's a 10 out of 10. Everyone's a winner. No such thing as a bad haunt.
Everyone's always winning. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Macy, I want to pick your brain here a little bit. And this is, I actually thought this question because of the experience that I had at Realm this year, which I want to know, what are your thoughts on breaking character? Because I was there with my other best friend.
Yep.
He's been my best friend of 20 years. I mean, I trust this kid with everything, right? And I saw you two talking and interacting, and I'm basically just kind of like, my brain was like, dude, stay here and see if she slips up. And then my other part of me was like, just let him talk. Like, dude, like Hops doesn't care. Hops does not care. And then I'm just like, so I just kind of walked away, but I kept my ears open, and I did not catch you slipping up. So I was really impressed with your ability to not only interact with what I would consider to be a normie, and still maintain your composure and stay in character. Super impressive. Really impressed by that. And I think I even kind of pointed it out in the review. Like I was ready. I was like, I was waiting for my opportunity,
Slip up.
Slip up, Macy. I'm going to bring the hammer down,
I appreciate that, because I do work. It is actually, once I'm in full-blown character, sorry. Once I'm in full-blown character, it is really hard to get me out of character. So something like a 911 call has to probably be made before I'd even really break character. maybe if I'm in the office talking to Ben and Dalton, my teeth are in and I am in makeup, there's not really a chance of me coming out of character. And I think that was just something that I've picked up over the years and always being told, like, you can't break character. You can't, it's just been like drilled into my brain ever since I've kind of started. Because it's not scary walking in and seeing someone using their normal voice, especially if they're able to change their voice. Some people can't, or they just don't know how to quite yet because they haven't played around enough with their vocals. But normally I barely ever break character unless, even if I have to pull someone out of the haunt, I will lower my tone of my acting, but I don't technically break character for it. So it's hard. It's a hard thing to do, but once you can do it, it's just like, oh wait, I've been doing this the whole time and I didn't even notice I'm doing it. So to me, when I'm in character and talking to your friend, I was like talking normal, but again, I'm in full costume and makeup, so that to me is normal. The way that I was talking and just catching up with him because I haven't seen him in a while. But it was also my husband told me that he was here and that he wanted to see me, so I was like, okay, I got to make sure I come out there. And I know when you guys were like the icon thing,
Yeah.
I know I talked to Gage about this a little bit, but
Yeah.
I'm all over the place. So some nights I'm not even in costume. I know I was in the video and the promo, but that doesn't always mean that I'm going to be in costume because I do have so many other things I'm working on and running the show in general. So it is harder for me to be out and about as much as like you guys see a whole bunch of other actors, right? Like we have designated queue line people, we have designated like zone leads, all of that stuff. So for me, I'm just like running around half the time with my head chopped off. So and I think when you guys came through the second time, I was making sure that the flow of the haunt was moving smoothly. So I was just like back and forth in a set all night long. So
It was very fun watching you crawl on a table and attack the
yeah.
high schoolers as we were
I
leaving.
love chasing people. It's fun. I know Dalton's just like, don't chase him across the parking lot. And I'm like, I try to be Sundays. It's busy, but it's not like a full parking lot like it would be on a Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
So Sundays, people a little bit more if I'm in costume, but Fridays and Saturdays, I love crawling on picnic tables. I always used to even do that when I was at Terra in the VIP area. So I just like being the center of attention when I'm in costume and making people feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I can kind of understand that. Like you're sitting there eating food with your friends, and all of a sudden this person in like full blown makeup and like voice is literally climbing on your table. I can definitely
Start spitting in her mouth like, what you eating?
I can understand where that would mess with some people for sure.
Yeah, and that character that night that I was doing the second time you guys walked through, she doesn't really normally talk. She's just more vocals. So like I want to say like more metal vocal type sounds coming out, like gurgly vocals, not really any talking. So half the time I'll just sit there and just like play with my spit and then I'll talk a little bit, but you only get like a little bit out of me and then I just go back to silent. And it's almost like a high-low, which is something that I love a good high-low, which means a good high vocal where you bring up your pitch of your vocal and then you shut it down right away. So when you're playing around with your vocals, it's really cool when I walk into a scene where someone's like whispering to themselves and talking, and then all of a sudden they're bringing their vocal pitch way up and then they drop it right back down because that really messes with someone's like thought process when they're walking through a set. And that's something that I really like to personally do. So that's kind of what I do when I'm playing that specific character.
So I'm gonna take it off script just for a second because I thought of this as we were kind of sitting here. And now I think high low is a great example of it, obviously. But if you're doing a scare, Macy, what is your most enjoyable type of scare to get?
That's a good question.
I know it's off script. I apologize in advance.
So me being, because I do work in the queue line quite often when I am acting, it's very rare now that I go into a scene, but if I have to go into a scene, I'm going to pull a ward, which I know you guys love. I love going into the ward. It's one of my favorites because I can just be as psycho as I want to be, and that's totally acceptable for that set. But when I'm in queue line, half the time I always get, obviously I'm tiny, I'm short, so like I do have to use a little bit more of aggression when I'm acting. So when I'm in queue line, I tend to make people again feel very uncomfortable. I will sit there and have like a staring contest with them until I know that they're about to like lose and back up and be uncomfortable about it. And then that's when I go in kind of for my punch. And then it like really catches them off guard because they didn't think I was gonna do that. Or I'll sit there and drool and they'll be like, ew, and they'll look at the spit coming down, and then that's when I'll go ahead and interact and I will like get the punch right there. When I'm acting in a scene, that's a little bit different because obviously I have something to go off of versus queue line where it's just a whole bunch of people, loud noises, all of that. So that can be a little bit different. But I really like acting in ward when I have the opportunity to. That's my favorite room to work if I have to go into a room at all. So, and I know when we were working at Realm, when they're asking like, you guys, what room should we come up with, my husband had the idea for kind of like this ward idea, and I was like, heck yeah, we need something like psychotic happening. And they were actually on board with it. They were unsure about it, but every year you guys seem to like it, and a lot of other people really like that
It's
room
good.
too. So I'm like, deal, it's a good one. I love it. It wasn't the exact image that I wanted, but it works really well. And the actors that I always put in there, I always have to show them that room because again, I have zone leads, so they're normally the ones showing the rooms and how to act in that room. But because that's like my pride and joy, I'm the one that brings them into that set, and I'm like, okay, this is what I do. You don't have to do this because I want you to have your creative freedom with it. But this is the goal for this room, and they are always on board with it. So I love it. But that's how I normally get my scares. I hope that answers your question.
It was great.
You know,
that was actually
I,
awesome. That was really good.
I want to ask you though, Macy, when you do your whole spit thing and like you're in the lines, do you pull the Big Daddy thing where you spit and then have it come right back up into your mouth? Can you do that?
I can do that with that spit because it tends
Oh,
as soon as
oh.
as soon as I put it in, it's like 5 seconds and my mouth is just like full of like saliva. And I just like half the time I'll go in the office because I'm needed for something. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. And I don't really want to swallow it because I'm tasting it. So I'm just like sitting there, I'm like talking with this whole thing of spit in my mouth. And they're like, what are you saying? I'm like, hang on. So I like turn around and I spit it out and then I'll have my conversation. Yeah, I can do that. I don't know if I can touch the ground though with it. I don't think I can touch the ground with it and bring it up.
Look at him. Look at him. You can't handle spit.
I love
Don't
it.
look. Don't get it twisted. He's not gagging. He's just trying to show off the front and back of that new merch line we got.
Yeah, I don't think I can touch the ground though with my spit and then bring it back up. Don't think I can do that. I haven't tried it, but this weekend I will. I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you posted.
I don't want to hear about it.
No. You gotta let Justin know specifically. Send him a video of you doing it.
Oh God, no! Please don't.
I'll have Phil take the video of me doing it, and then I'll send it over.
So we opened up. Tonight was my first experience with permablood, and we opened this up, and my girlfriend is pouring it, and I'm just like, ah, ah. She's like, it's paint, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's disgusting.
Yeah. And that also, like, when you guys are talking about scents, I feel like in your reviews, scents are cool, but holy smackaronis. If you ever get to go to Transworld or experience Transworld, they are brutal that I don't think an actor could actually work in one of those rooms because they are highly potent. Like, so potent that it will make you throw up. And we've already had a few pukers this year, so even I go up because for a while I was like, oh, I want a scent so I can spray it on my costume, but I was like, which one? And I've smelled a lot of them and they are so bad. Even if you like dilute it a little bit, it is so strong that you would have to have someone that has like a super stuffy nose or like stick some cotton swabs up there because otherwise it would literally linger for such a long time. So that's like the one hard thing I feel like about working with scents is that we had this fart spray that adult had, And when we were redoing our whole wardrobe area this year, he sprayed it in one of the drawers, not telling me and my attraction lead. About it. And we opened it up and we're like, what is that smell? And Dalton's just over in the corner laughing. And I'm like, dude, like seriously, like now this is gonna stink like a fart for like months on end. So it just lingers for a long time.
Mhm. Well, there's something Justin and I are going to do, and it's going to kind of be a little, what's it, teaser for our characters. But we're kind of
Mhm.
going with that whole wedding. Can I say it, Justin? Do you feel like, yeah. So we're going to kind of incorporate a scent in our costume. If you saw our video, we had coffee splash on us, so we're going to smell like coffee.
Yeah.
But
I used to do
also,
You're definitely not
well,
going to smell like coffee, I promise.
you're not going to smell like, darn. Okay, well, what we are also going to use is because we did come from a wedding, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to have like, is that a perfume or whatever?
Yeah, so
What is it?
I, I told my girlfriend, I don't care what you buy. You buy me the closest thing you can get me to wedding cake. I don't care what it is. And she brings home this thing. She's like, okay, here you go. What do you think? And she sprays it. And I like took a smell and I was like, that's it. That's
We're going to
perfect.
smell
That's
so cute.
Yep. Yep. And it's like, and I told her that too. I'm like, here's these two guys covered in blood, kitchen knife, sack mask, ready to murder everybody. And they literally smell like vanilla bean.
Right. Yeah.
I find it
Yeah.
funny. It gets me, and I'm like, it would make sense if we were at a wedding. We would smell like coffee, a popular drink at dessert, and we would probably smell like wedding cake.
Right. That would make sense. That would totally make sense. And I enjoy like when I'm in character, I will use a really crappy perfume for myself. Um, but I don't know if other actors do that or not. I haven't really told them about that secret before, but it's something that I can definitely bring up in the future. But definitely a lot of them need deodorant, and every actor needs deodorant because they sweat way too much. And then our costumes just like need like a double layer of Lysol and like all the stuff to get rid of all those germs and sweat, because you walk through them, you're like, whoo, natural scent right there. So
I can tell you who's not sweating, and that's Uncle Sammy because he's in those showers getting
Oh.
clean.
He wasn't in there on
No.
Sunday, so
Oh.
I
Unbelievable.
put him somewhere else. I wanted to test his ability. I wanted to test the waters a little bit, but I'm not gonna tell you where. But he had a lot of fun. So
Okay.
he had a blast actually. So I was excited to see that when he came downstairs and looked at the board and he's like, what? I was like, yeah, I wanna see you do something different. I want to test what you're capable of doing because I know you can do it. And he was so nervous all night long. And I'm like, I know you can do it. I just want to see you do it, and you're gonna be just fine. And at the end of the night, he goes, that was so much fun. I was like, told you, you're totally fine the whole time. You're fine. Anxiety, it's fine.
You gotta appreciate those actors that step out of their comfort zone and like get into a new act and stuff like that. Because I'm sure
Yeah.
we get so comfortable in one spot. It really goes with anything in this world. The moment you move into something else, you're like, no. But the ones that are willing to do it, kudos to them. I'm glad to hear it.
Right. And that also kind of goes into like preseason. We do workshops. I teach workshops, I coach actors on vocals, movement, all of those weird things that kind of regards to acting in a scene or cue line. And that really helps kind of get people out of their comfort zone a little bit more by pulling out some things that they might not have realized that they're capable of doing. And then they tend to use that then the following year versus falling in the same old like type of character that they're used to doing. So that's really fun on my end of watching them kind of transform into this beautiful little butterfly in my eyes. It's like it's so much fun watching them grow from like someone that might not have ever acted in a haunted house and doesn't have any theater experience whatsoever, and them just like killing it by like the third weekend. And I'm like, see, you can do it. And they're like, oh, do it. I was like, yes, you can. It's totally fine. It's all normal.
Then when we get done with our scare acting and upload footage, you got to coach us to be like, you shouldn't have done that. You should try that, stuff like that. I'm expecting a comment in our video.
Review you guys. Just
Review the reviewers is what I'm saying.
Review the reviewers on just your acting.
Just
don't, because I'm pretty
don't
particular about costume.
don't do the Timu thing and do like reviewing reviewers.
No, I would just personally message you guys and be like, okay, look, this is what needs to change, and maybe let's add this to your costumes and make them a little bit better. Because I used to use coffee back when I first started. I used to bury my costumes in dirt and let them like linger in water for like a month or to 2 months, and they would smell like the ground, like earth. It would smell like earth. And then I would go ahead and roll around in dirt, and then I did the coffee thing, which, I mean, it works, but I found other things that work really good, like shoe polish. That's like my bread and butter. I love shoe polish. That's how I used to distress pretty much all the costumes, even at the haunt, and obviously Permablood. I have it in every single color that you can possibly think of, besides like the clown colors. And then I use a lot of acrylic paints. So it's what I tend to use for costume distressing, and it works so good. And I've even learned from really good people that are also in this industry, from Chicago, and they do a really good job in distressing costumes and building characters. And I taught a class with them on costuming, and we were pretty much on the same page when it comes to distressing. So it was really cool to be on the same page with someone that's really talented in creating characters and distressing. Yeah, sweet. I don't feel weird.
It did. At the end there, I'm just letting you know, it did kind of cut in and out a little bit, so it's kind of hard to pick you up. But we did get the most of that there. Don't worry.
So, Macy, I'm going to give the floor to you here for however long you want, really. Talk about whatever you want in the haunt industry. Go ahead. If you wanna plug the haunt you work at, if you wanna plug anything whatsoever, be my guest.
Oh, can you hear us? We may.
Oh, this is gonna make for great entertainment.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes. Oh, I got that one.
We heard that.
Can you hear me?
It's kind of catching up.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Oh,
we must be using.
I
we must be using
green.
cell
Oh no. Cool. Yeah. So.
Poor Macy. We can't hear.
Is it working?
No, not yet. Just hang on.
It's okay, internet. You work when you feel like it.
I know, internet. Work.
Oh.
Feel like it.
Go.
Back.
Here we go. Okay.
Yeah,
we're back.
Go.
We're back. Sweet. Cool. So, so last year, I don't know if you guys remember coming through the haunt and recognizing a character that looked homeless.
Yeah. Yep.
That would be Bob. I love talking about this character because he probably won't come out anymore. Here.
Me?
No. So my husband is actually the one that plays Bob, the homeless guy, and he is technically an arson.
He's a person.
Yeah, he does arson work. So every time he'd go to a porta potty or if someone goes in the porta potty, he would throw the gas can, which is just water, but he'd throw it on the gas can and light a match like he's about to start a fire on that. And he'd just walk around, and it was just like a running joke. And Dalton loved the character, and I've been trying so hard to get it to come back out, but he's like, no, I'm done with the acting portion of things. And I'm like,
can I interrupt for 1 second?
Yeah.
Dude, okay. That actor, because I remember that last year when you guys did that. I swear to God, I actually thought it was a homeless man for a minute.
Really
I'm
did.
like,
he legit
Justin,
did.
is this?
Yeah,
Should I interact with this guy, or is he going to ask me for money?
And I was like, I don't think that's a homeless person. I think that's an actor.
Really, it's my husband. He was like, you know how funny it would be to create a homeless character? I was like, I guess. And he's like, it's just fun. I'm like, okay, let's see how it goes. And it actually turned out really good. So
It did.
I was happy about it. It turned out really good, and like the people actually really enjoyed it. Our original idea with it was actually pitching a tent in the parking lot,
Building a
and
tent
like
city.
actually making him look super homeless, and seeing how many people would come up to him and be like, do you need help, or just to see if he'd like make change.
I almost
And he
did.
did make, yeah, he he did make a few pennies, I think, during haunt season 2 last year when he was acting, so that was a lot of fun.
So
It's always
that's
fun
how
seeing
they
him
avoided
get in
those
character,
upgrades.
right? But it's always fun watching him get into character too, from my standpoint, because for a long time when he was even over at Terra, he was in costume all the time, and this is his first year really not getting into costume. And every time I'm like, hey, do you wanna? And he's like, no. Like literally just like stern face, like not happening. I'm like, okay, sounds good. um, but yeah, when that character was a lot of fun. But anyways, back to the haunt. So when it comes to Realm, like I mentioned, I am the performance coordinator. So I actually teach, coach, manage the whole entire show as a whole. So I do placements, I take care of the costumes, I create the costumes if there's any that need to get done. I help and oversee our makeup team as well this year, which is fantastic. We have a whole new team of makeup artists, and they are insanely good at what they do. Some of them have come from other haunts, which is fantastic. One of them was actually almost going to be on Paint Wars because he used to do full body painting, and he is a genius and super talented. So it's really cool to have a cool team like that that is super creative and just super positive, because positivity is everything, especially when you're kind of tired from the night before from acting, or you're sore. And the actors also really appreciate all the work that they do, and I definitely appreciate the work that they do, because sometimes I will also hop an airbrush if like we need more faces done. I have an airbrush, I'm trained in airbrush. I used to be on the makeup team over at Terror, so it was really fun for me to come to Realm and be able to create cool looks. So this year I've actually let the makeup artist go ahead and create all my makeup looks whenever they're available. I'll be like, you guys just do whatever you want. I don't really care. I don't want to pull out my airbrush tonight. And they always have a good time with it. And I always like everything that they do. So it's been a really good year, especially doing makeup with them. So it's been fun.
Awesome.
Macy, is there anything else you'd like to talk about tonight while you have the platform here with us?
Not that I'm aware of. I think we kind of touched over everything, such as like acting, performance coordinating,
Yep.
training, unless if you guys have questions about anything like performance based that
feel
you
like
didn't already ask.
The questions that I'm gonna come up with is after I do my acting. That's for sure.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
I'll be like, hey, hang on, I should have done that differently.
I actually think that would be really
Also-
cool to circle back on some of that stuff if that'd be cool with you. I think that'd be really awesome to be able to look back on that and say, okay, now that we've actually had some experience in the industry, how does this work? Why did this work? How come this scare worked? Can you explain the dynamics of this to us? Like, I would actually really like the opportunity to pick your brain on some of that stuff maybe down the road, if that would be cool with you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm always around. I like when people pick my brain about things, because and the biggest thing too, because I've also been doing this now for a decent amount of time, I'm still not done learning myself, and I will never be done learning, because even when I go to Transworld, I take a lot of classes there. I have taken like Q line classes, but those were already things that I kind of already knew. But it's always interesting to hear from someone else's perspective that might be a really good icon in our industry, or someone that's like highly looked upon, because we do have a lot of those people in this industry, a lot in Chicago area actually. So I know you guys really kind of like hit the Wisconsin haunts, but if you're ever able to, I would definitely and highly recommend going to a Chicago haunt. They're amazing. So
We
that's
kind of tease
something.
on that.
Yeah, we've
We
talked about that a few
we like to
times.
do like, hang on, we like to do a is it scary Illinois, kind of thing. Just for one day, we'll do like go down to Chicago, maybe hit up one of those. All I'm saying is, man, I know I'm the one driving. I hate the city driving, and Chicago.
Right.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
can't. I'll have to get an Uber. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, Chicago
No,
and
it's so much
Milwaukee,
fun
it's
going
like,
to Chicago. Normally, so my favorite haunt, and I always get questions about like what my favorite haunt is. I actually really don't get to go to many in our area.
Mhm.
I did get to go experience Abandoned though, and that probably actually has to be one of my personal favorites. I love that show so much, but I also love their queue line actors. Their queue line actors are probably some of the best queue line actors I've personally seen. I've been to Netherworld before, which is a huge show, and that's down in Georgia. And that was like insanely beautiful. Like, I mean, you would have to walk through that haunt probably like 100 times and you still probably wouldn't see everything because it's so like overwhelming and just like full of all this cool stuff that you just want to look at it, and then you get so distracted by paying attention to your surroundings that you forget that you're haunted house and there's an actor. And I this like for our honeymoon time, or when we went for our honeymoon, and so we got to go through the Christmas show, which was really cool. um we saw the Christmas show. We went ahead, we walked through, and the people behind us, we were walking slow, as most haunters do, because we like to look at everything. And the group behind us were like, hey, if you guys want to go in front of us, like, feel free to, because we're going to be taking our time. And they're like, no, we know you guys are haunters. It's fine. And it's like, oh, okay, sweet deal. So we just carried on. We get out to their midway, which that alone is super impressive. And then we come back around and the owner comes out and he goes, where are you guys from? We told him. He's like, well, do you guys want to like get a backstage tour and also go back
That's
through again?
awesome.
I was like, yes, please. So that was really cool to see how that show runs, because it is massive. That show is so big, and I only got to see like one haunt because they have, I think, 2 attractions there. The outside one was closed because, of course, it's like winter there, even though it's still warm. But their inside show was so cool. And there was this Krampus guy hanging out, scared me the first time, which I never really get scared walking through a haunt, but he scared me. And then the second time I walked through, I knew it was coming. And I even told Cole, I looked behind me, I'm like, I know it's coming and I'm not going to get scared this time. Oh no, he got me again. So I was like, okay, I'm done. So that was a really cool show. But in Chicago, I personally, if you're able to, check out Hell's Gate. They're really cool. And their haunt is amazing. Amazing. It's
Justin,
such a cool show.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, you're
I was
totally
saying,
fine. You
Justin, we may have to take a trip down south for like one weekend, but the thing is, work schedule wise might be pretty difficult. So we got to get this man to retire so that way I can take him to places in the weekends and that, because holy cows, this works. That's so, and that's the thing. People are always like, "Hey, come and see us." So when you coming, we don't know. We're trying to figure that out.
I love the comments where it's like, "Hey, come to Screaming Acres." I'm like, okay, what else am I gonna do down there? Because I gotta work till 2. I gotta catch a nap when I get off work, so I'm not miserable all night. I mean, I'm not 20 years old anymore.
Your body's gonna feel it the next day after you guys are done acting. I mean, my feet, like I don't really even act as much as I used to. I mean, I'm older now than what I once was when I first started. I mean, I could run laps back in the day, but now I like wake up and I'm like, why are my feet like feeling like pins and needles right now? Why does my neck hurt? And I'm like, oh yeah, Macy, look at the posture that you're doing while you're in character for the little bit, okay?
Why am I dying
So
right
it's
now?
just it's a long night. It's a long night. And you're constantly moving, you're constantly using muscles that you didn't realize you even had anymore. And I used to be a gymnast. So for me, it was just like, wow, this is a workout. And I mean, you get your squats, that's for sure. That's for sure.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the 25th. You got me worked out. I'm loving it.
It's so much fun that like the adrenaline after you get your first scare is probably like the most intoxicating thing in the best way possible. Because now you're just like, now I want more. Now I'm gonna keep doing this until like I can't anymore. So
that's what we're afraid of. We're afraid we're gonna like it so much we're not gonna be scared viewing anymore. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like
that's okay. You can join this side. It's fine.
Well, come on! I love nitpicking at people and telling them what to do, even though I don't know what I'm doing.
Full disclosure. I did tell Gage. Full disclosure. All jokes aside, I did actually tell Gage. If it's something we really enjoy, and we get enough haunts that are on board with having us, we could literally take a season off of reviews and just go haunt act and record the whole damn thing and use that as content
At different locations if they allow us in that, So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's something we threw in the air. If it happens, maybe in a couple years, we'll let it happen, but we'll see.
We'll see what happens. Macy.
That's really cool. Like, yes.
Nope. You had a thing. Go ahead.
Nope, go ahead. I forgot. I lost my train of thought.
Same. I do all the time.
I was just gonna tell you, if we're at a good point here and you guys want to bring the interview to an end, Macy, why don't you shout out the haunt you're working at one more time, show them some love, and we'll bring it home.
Yeah, I work for the Realm of Darkness, and I've been there now for 2 years, and it is so much fun working at the Realm. And Ben and Dalton are just really great people to work for in general. They're the most genuine people, but also like the realest people that I've gotten to know, and it's been a blast working for them. I mean, I did obviously work for Terror in the past, and I still have so much love for them. So much love, and I love their show, and I'm so happy that they're doing really well, and I can't wait to go visit them. But I'm very happy where I'm at now, and it's been a great 2 years working at the Realm of Darkness. So
Macy, for the viewers that don't have previous knowledge, where can they find the Realm of Darkness?
that is in Kaukauna. I don't know the exact address, which is terrible of me not knowing the exact address, but they're located in Kaukauna. So it's so much fun. It's like a halfway point between, like, obviously you got Terror on the Fox, Green Bay Fear, and then you got Kaukauna, which would be us, and then you can go to Burial Chamber if you're able to. So boom, one straight shot.
W2091 Country Road, JJ, Kaukauna, Wisconsin 541130.
That's it. That's it. And make
That's
sure
the
to
one.
That's it. Make sure to also get your tickets ahead of time, because now we will start for sure selling out every
They will.
Yeah.
So it will get busy, and if you don't like standing in line, highly recommend just buying a fast pass right off the bat, because Friday and Saturday this weekend it's gonna be crazy. I know, I remember that actually last year. You guys looked outside and you're like, bye, we're not gonna come tonight. We'll come on Sunday, it's fine.
Yeah, that's what I told you.
Yeah. So it's a good time. I love it. And thank you guys for letting me and having you guys pick my brain. I always enjoy getting my brain picked a little bit. So
yeah,
I love talking.
We'll follow up. We'll follow up with our haunt acting. I'm curious to see what others think.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll be so great. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear about it. And I can't wait to hear about how sore your body is the following day.
I told my brother the other day, I'm like, bro, I'm so glad I don't work until late the day after we do the haunt acting, because there was no way I was going to be to work at 8 and be functional.
Make sure to stretch, drink some tea. Make sure to have cough drop or Jolly Ranchers on you at all times, because your vocals will probably need it, because Jolly Ranchers and all of that help kind of like lubricate.
Never thought about that.
Yeah, it helps. I normally go Jolly Ranchers just because it's a little bit more of a thicker coating, and that does help. So I normally have a lot of that on me at all times, just so I can pop one. I actually haven't needed one, knock on wood, all season long yet, but it is something that we do recommend for our actors to always keep on them. And obviously drink tons of water. You might have to go to the bathroom 15 million times, but it is a really intense workout. So, and it's very like boom, 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 with groups just like flying by each time. So
Pointing at Justin with the bathroom thing, because I know it's going to happen a lot. All right.
I'm Justin with This Is Scary Wisconsin. I'm joined here tonight by my best friend Gage, and of course a massive shout out and a huge thank you to Macy from the Realm of Darkness for joining us tonight. In our, I guess this would be our first actor interview here on Is This Scary Wisconsin.
I feel so special. So special. I feel so special. Thank you guys very, very much. I really appreciate it.
It was awesome to have you here tonight, Macy. I want to remind everybody watching, hit us on the socials, check out the merch in the description. If it ain't as scary, it ain't shit. And at the end of the day, I'm going to let Macy take us out. There's one question the viewers want to know. Macy, it's all you.
Is it scary?